And today we have a lot of big topics today. I think that we have some very interesting topics indeed. We have Naptown United we're going to be talking about. And then we're going to have TigZ we're going to be talking about. So let's start off with Naptown United first. And Otita, Naptown United, they're not running with, I don't think they're going to be running, the roster that's in this league is not going to be the one that we saw against NSYNC. It's the team that TigZ Esports beat. And yes, don't you brag about that, but
I wasn't going to.
It is a roster with Pink and
his two teammates.
And that's a team that I think their game might have been streamed. I don't know if we can get some.
I think they have some of their games streamed
on that on the screen, but if we can't, but they're more of like, I'm pretty sure, a C3 to GC1 team.
I think so.
If they, it's like, how big of a force do you think that they would really have an impact on the big dogs, or if we can consider them a big dog based off what you've seen from them?
I like the term big dogs because there are a lot of different things you can call, like you can call the big three or the big four. Like, say you can call TigZ Esports a part of the big three, make NSYNC a part of the big three, but who else can we really have that's going to be a part of the big three unless we have Lunar back into this? If we don't get Lunar back in this, I don't think that you can call this really a big three, just like a big two team. I mean, it's kind of like the ROCS offseason era in North America, where they had, in the beginning of the offseason era, they had like the big four of NRG, G2, Space Station Gaming, and Envy, right? But G2 didn't win any events, and then in the middle of the winter split out of nowhere. I mean, Kansas City Pioneers were in there for a little bit of time, like maybe like 1 or 2 regionals in the winter split. But out of nowhere, here comes Rogan with First Killer popping off like crazy. And then they consider them the big four, and they take G2 Esports and they push them into like the number 5 spot. That's why you saw in a lot of RLCSX rankings, G2 Esports with Rizzo were not the heavy contenders. They were a team that will make a quarterfinals. They were a team like they'll consistently make a top 8, consistently make a top 4, but they will never get over the hump and win a regional. And they still have not won a regional until this 2021-2022 season with TigZ in this final regional before they went to Sweden. So I don't think that you can consider any team the big 3 or big 2 yet. I think you can maybe consider NSYNC and TigZ Esports a big 2 because we have not seen the other teams. Because we have so many new teams. We have teams that are still waiting to be confirmed, and then we have like 7 confirmed teams, I'm pretty sure, so far. Or 9 confirmed teams. We have new teams like Satronics, we have Slaughter Esports, Vision Esports, Team Resolute, High Definition or something. We have a lot of new teams, and there are a lot of players that are like at high rank. So this league is going to be more competitive than it was ever before. Like, remember the days of North American gaming when we used to see them come in here and get blown out by a team of their own rank, or maybe sometimes they would be like grand champs going up against them, and they were like high plat, mid diamond. You know, those days are over. This is the most competitive season we are going to have since maybe when the Muffin Boys came in, all the way a few years ago. And with the league expanding the way it is, I don't think we can call these teams a big 2. A Cytronics member made a good point the other day when he was actually saying something like, we can't consider these old teams like a dynasty. Like, we can't consider these teams dynasty teams, or can't automatically put them in that top 2, top 1 position, because there is so much new talent in the league. And this league is going to have the most talent, most new talent that it has ever had since the spring split. So, and this is going to be for the winter spring split. So this is going to be unbelievable. So let's talk about TigZ now, Taysom.
Yeah, I really like what you said right there, and that's Satronics member. I think it's Rainy that might have said that. He had a good point. We need a lot more people like him in the Discord being active and really giving those opinions, because those can really influence our opinions over here on the podcast as well. I personally kind of agree with that. Brovanik might agree with that. Tonic does not agree with that though. Tonic, he's a hard head. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I really respect his opinion. But let's talk about TigZ. If we get TigZ back in the league, they're not the highest ranked team, both in gameplay and in rank as well. So how much of an impact do you think that a team like TigZ would have coming back?
It's kind of hard to tell, Taysom, at this point. I think that TigZ are a good team in its own respective right, but I don't think that, like, the last time we saw them play, they lost to Pyro Esports. Remember that? Over the summer, they lost to Pyro Esports, and the players that TigZ had, they're like C1s, D3 C1s. Pyro Esports were like D2s and D3s, and they lost to Pyro Esports 4-1 in a best of 7. I don't think you can. It's very hard to tell, because you don't know what type of TigZ we're gonna be getting. If we're getting like one of those, like one of the best teams in the league TigZ, or are we gonna get like a team that's gonna lose to the old North American gaming TigZ, or a team that can barely hold up their right against Pyro Esports TigZ? I think they'll have a big impact in the league in terms of, hey, we're a team that's going to be competitive against you. It's going to be hard for you to get past us. But I don't think they're going to be a team that you can say this team is one of the best teams in the league, or this team is going to be I think TigZ can be a playoff contender. I just don't think that they will go far. They're like my favorite NFL team, like the Eagles, or maybe I should say the Saints. They've always made the playoffs over the past few years, right? But they struggle to get past the wild card. When they do get past the wild card, I think there was one time where they went into the divisional and then they went against the Eagles, and then they lost in the conference championship against the Rams. I think the conference championship. I don't know what they call it. I forgot. I think it's called the conference. I think they keep calling it the conference championship. I'm a football guru and I can't remember this. I can't believe this. I'm gonna get roasted on Twitter. But yeah, like they can't get but they made, let's just say, the semifinals, and they lost in a very BS call to the Rams. And if they made the Super Bowl, they would have won against New England, but we're not going to talk about that. Besides, there's a team like that can't get over the hump. That's a wild card team only. I think that's a team like TigZ. You can very much compare the Saints to TigZ. Even their colors are the same, but I don't know if you can. I think TigZ is going to be one of those teams that's competitive, that might upset a few teams. But if they played like they have over the past few tournaments and show matches, I don't think you can consider them a team that can really hardcore compete for a championship. I don't think that you can call them a championship contender. I think you can call them a playoff caliber team, but not a championship contender. Say we get 16 teams in the league and we have 16 games over the course of the season, about 8 weeks. I think TigZ is going to be one of those teams that's going to be like, that might finish off 8-8, or maybe 7-9. You know, they're those types of teams like TigZ that they're so hard to predict the record. Like my favorite team, the Eagles, my diehard team, the Eagles. We just came off a crazy good one against the Giants, right? Last year, we're just hoping to make the wild card, and we ended the season 4-11-1. Bro, what? Yeah, that's how we ended off our season. And then the next year, we're coming off, we're 8-7 so far, and we're the last NFC seed in the playoffs. I love my team, but we are hard to predict the record. We lost to the Giants 2 weeks ago. And then we barely won against, if it isn't for our second half pullaways each week, from week 1 against the Falcons to last week against the Jets to this past week against the Giants, we would have lost to the Jets. At one point, it was like 18-21. The Jets were trailing by 3. They were leading to us at 2 times at one point. It's so hard to predict the record for a team like TigZ. Or maybe again like Pyro Esports. But if Pyro Esports come in here, I don't think they can do as... Like, we keep comparing Pyro Esports to InSync until we saw InSync's gameplay. And Pumpkin just magically came out of nowhere and started being a Champ 3 GC1 Papa player. What in the world? 2K! My God. Bro, Pumpkin is cracked now. And we kept comparing, saying that Pyro... We kept assuming InSync were the same type of team that we were predicting against Pyro. And we kept, like, InSync were the former North American gaming team that did not win a single game except one. I mean, except the single series against Pyro Esports. And a team like TigZ, they could have changed. They could have got way worse, or they could have got way better. It's so hard to predict. But now, InSync, you can predict that they have like a 13-3 record. Or maybe like a 12-4 record. Or Blizzard Esports, you can predict that they have 11-5 record, or a 12-4 record. Maybe a 14-2 record if we get 16 teams. But shahish, it's so hard. Why do you have to make me act like this, Taysom? I just explained football on a non-football channel. Okay, for you guys in tennis. Let's say one of my favorite tennis players, like Gael Monfils or Tsonga. You guys in Europe, you guys should understand this, because I'm not going to bring up no soccer logic. You guys in Europe, say, you guys should know tennis, and some of the guys in tennis, say, like Gael Monfils. I am not going to bring up a famous player like Nadal, because he always makes like top 4, top 2. So say Monfils. Every time, he's one of my favorite players. He almost never these days, except in like the ATP tournaments or the tours, the tour tournaments, he doesn't get past top 4 or top 2 or top 8 usually. And it's sad to see, because there are a lot of good upcoming players in tennis. But like sometimes he can break 4 and have a deep playoff run, get past into top 4 potential. Top 2 even maybe. But you don't know what his schedule is going to be like for him to actually get those wins, you know? So that's how we're going to end it here. I hope everyone has a very, very good day. Don't forget to go to the GSCS Discord server, or for more information, comment down below and ask us. The GSCS or the Animals Gaming Spot account will reply to you as soon as possible. Have a good day, everyone, and peace out.